Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the Springfield Hellcat Pro.
Let's do this video better.
Okay. So let's get right into the first 30-second breakdown. That's where in the first 30 seconds, give or take, I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before we get into the full review. That way we can just stop watching, so now we know we say those things, or you guys can continue watching because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm and you can see why I say those things later on. I go into further detail. With this, the Hellcat Pro. If you guys have watched my stuff in the past, you know I really like the Hellcat. Something I was really critical at the beginning, and I was kind of tough on it originally, but it's something that I really fell in love with and I started carrying a lot, and now it is something that I do carry pretty often. Now, I said in the original video that I would love to see them expand on what they already have, larger sizes, make smaller sizes, and expand on the Hellcat opposed to the XD line. So I'm really happy to see that they did this. The biggest differences are going to be the grip length is going to be longer, the slide length and barrel length is also going to be longer. So this is a 3.7-inch barrel on here, and then your sight radius is going to be a little bit longer as well. It doesn't really matter since you're running an optic, but if you weren't running the optic and you were just running the OSP with the plate, then you would have a longer sight radius, which is always a good thing. So here's a quick comparison between the two, the regular Hellcat and the Pro, just so you guys can see the difference between these two. I'll get them lined up as much as possible. I'll do some more B-roll later in the review here so you guys can really see a good detail of them, but there is a significant difference. With this one here, my pinky is missing. Here, I get a full grip on this gun and the ability to have a longer barrel here to be able to add different flashlights as well is really nice, because you can add some really nice options that are on the market right now that came out this year and last year. So me personally, I see this being a very popular option on the market just because of the size. I think a lot of people are going to like it. It's not much bigger, so concealability wise, you're not going to have a hard time concealing this, but it does have some nice benefits being a little bit bigger. So with all that being said, let's get right into my relationship with Springfield. They did send me this gun pre-release, which is really cool because I was able to test this before getting a video out to you guys, so I appreciate them for that. So now let's get into the full review and go over all the details of this gun. So really, this is going to be wildly similar to your Hellcat. So if you already own a Hellcat, you're gonna have a really good idea of how this gun feels. Now, the biggest differences after shooting this is I feel like it's a little less snappy. I feel like this one has a pretty good snap to it just because of the size of the gun. This one feels a little bit more comfortable to shoot. I was a lot more comfortable shooting at the 50-yard mark, and I think that's just because it's a little bit longer. It's gonna be a tiny bit accurate. Might not be a ton. Really, maybe it's not even enough to notice. It might be a placebo where I'm just thinking it's nicer, but to me it felt a little less snappy. The grip on it just feels more comfortable because you have a larger grip, even though I usually carry the 15-round mag, which gives you basically the same distance of grip. It just feels like a more comfortable setup. Now, this is a 15-round magazine as well, so you're gonna have 15 plus 1 on this one, but the difference with this is that's gonna be a flush mag. But for this one, if you want the 15 rounds, you're gonna have to have the mag extension here. So, and as you can tell here with the color difference, you can really see the difference in size of the grip and where that extension is. So that's really where you're gaining with this. It's pretty much the exact same size with the extension. The only big difference now is if you run that 15-round mag, is you're getting a little bit longer of a barrel. So if you're not seeing my original video on the Hellcat, go ahead and click here and you can take a look at that. But I'm gonna briefly go over this gun for those of you that have not seen that video or my thoughts. So real quickly, top to bottom, I'm gonna skip the optic for now because I wanna talk about that a little bit later, but the sights on this are really nice. It's got a U-notch, they are tritium. I think the sights, especially for a stock gun, are very nice, and I have no plans of ever changing these. Like if I go with a Glock or something, I'm usually changing the sights pretty quickly, but with this, they come with a very nice stock sight. Now for the slide, you have some serration, so you're able to manipulate this gun pretty well. They're not gaudy or overdone on this gun. They just have a nice styling to it. So now going down to your grip. The grip texture is fantastic on this gun. Really good for concealed. I don't know what they did or how they did it, but I think it is a very good design and texture. It looks sharp and it just feels really good in your hand. If you've ever felt one, you know what I mean. It's just very comfortable. It's like a light grit to it. Nothing crazy that's gonna hurt or be uncomfortable to your skin or be uncomfortable to your hand after shooting for a long period of time. It is something that I think they did a really good job with. If you wanted to get a more aggressive texture, you could stipple it if you wanted to, but me personally, I don't think I'd ever do that, especially because I can still carry this. The mag release on this is interchangeable, so you can switch it if you want to. The trigger's nice, nothing wild. This is the Gen 3 trigger in this one, so they've made little improvements here and there. So I think it is a good stock trigger, but it is not the best stock trigger I've ever seen. So definitely something you could upgrade if you wanted to make it a little bit better, but I think it is fine for stock. If you want a gun out of the package, you're not gonna have any issues with that trigger, and I've had personally no issues. Now with this pick rail here on the bottom, which is nice because you could actually add some really nice lights that have now come out on the market. There are a lot of really nice options from Streamlight, Surefire, and I'll probably end up adding one here a little bit later. Right this second, probably not, but it is nice to have that option, especially for those of you who really like having lights on their concealed carry guns. My smaller guns like this one, I don't necessarily always have to because I usually carry a pocket light with me just so I have a white light, but with something a little bit bigger like this, I would be more apt to actually put a flashlight on it. Now here for the magazine capacity, 15+1, I am very content with that. This is the capacity of a Glock 19 and a much smaller size. So capacity wise, I think this is fantastic. Grip angle, comfort of the gun, real easy to shoot. All of that is really good. It's really honestly going to be personal preference, though, unfortunately. So I could sit here and say I absolutely love this grip texture and the angle. It's perfect for me, but I can't say that's perfect for you because you might like something different. Your hands are a little bit different. The way you like how it shoots might be a little different. I'm just going to be able to give you my opinion on what I think of after shooting it. So as you can tell, I'm a big fan of this gun. I think Hellcat did a fantastic job. If you follow my stuff, you know I'm not a huge fan of XDs, not really a gun that I'm big into. I just don't like it at all, honestly. I am trying to convince Springfield to get rid of the XD line and just solely stick with the Hellcat because I think they have a fantastic platform with this, and everything that they've done with it is just superior, in my opinion, than the XDs. I think they've done a really good job with its design, and I would love to see them continue going different sizes, and I honestly think they will. I think after this one goes, I think they're going to continue to get a little bit bigger and maybe do the full sizes, which I think would be a really popular gun because the Hellcat, in my opinion, has been great. I have 3 of them, including this one. This is the one that I conceal carry with the hollow sun on it, and I really like this gun. None of my Hellcats have had any malfunctions, and that has been fantastic for me, and that's really what I'm looking for with a concealed carry gun, especially something I'm going to protect my life, my kids, and my family with. My wife, I got her a Hellcat, so she carries one daily. I ended up buying my dad one as well because that's how much I ended up really liking these guns. Me personally, I think that's one of the bigger compliments I can put to this gun is say that I trust my life with it. So it is something I've been carrying for about 1.5 years, 2 years now, and I think this is probably going to be the one that's going to take over this spot, and I'll eventually probably just continue to always carry this one because I like the size of it better. So now for the optic. I do not have much experience with these Hex optics. I have one on the 10mm XD that I was testing. It's a decent optic. It has a nice field of view. It looks sharp. I don't know durability wise. I've done a couple things like racking it off the truck. Here, I'll show you a video, and a couple other little things, but I haven't had them long enough to really tell you if this is durable enough for me to trust my life with. So I'm gonna have to do a lot more shooting with this to go from there. It's got 65,000 hours of battery life, so it has a really good runtime. It's an always on. I don't really like the fact that it has a sensor, so it senses what brightness it needs. I'd much rather just be able to press a button with what I want. We'll have to try it out a little bit, see how I like it, especially pulling from concealment and seeing where it does and how quickly it adjusts. So that's something I need to test out. Maybe if things get in the sensor, which I think is right here, how that affects it. So definitely things I need to test. One thing I do like is the sight is put down really low, so you're actually able to use your backup sights, which is cool, especially for a concealed gun. If this thing goes down, I'm still able to use these sights. It's not very great. It's not gonna be the best option, but they are right on the bottom of the optic, so you are still able to use your sights for the most part and take shots with it if needed. So that is a big plus for this and how low this is and how the optic is designed. So all in all, I have put a lot of rounds through the Hellcat platform. This one is pretty much identical other than the fact that it's a little bit longer in spots. So I know this is already a solid platform, so that makes me happy. The only thing that I'm a little iffy about and want to test further is the optics. So that is something I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on and not quite put like a stamp of approval and say, yes, absolutely. So if you were just going for the gun, I think this is a fantastic choice, and it's something I recommend. It's something me personally and my family use to protect our lives. This is a $650 platform without the optic. With the optic, it's probably gonna be close to that $800, $850 range. Not sure exactly what the price tag is gonna be with the optic, but without it, you're looking at around $650. So I'm currently using a black point holster. That is the one that they actually sent me. So I've been using this for a little while. Decent holster. I might have to upgrade though if I go with a flashlight, but so far I'm probably just gonna continue to carry that and see how I like it. If you guys have one of your own, please let me know how you like it. Let me know what you think of the Hellcat platform. If you are somebody that already owns a Hellcat, this is basically the same thing. It's just going to be a little bit nicer in my mind because it's a little bit bigger and a little easier to shoot with a slightly better accuracy in my mind just because the sight radius and the fact that the barrel is a little bit longer. So again, it could be placebo, but definitely do think it's going to have some improvements with that. So if you'd like to help out the channel and things I do here, there's a couple ways to do that. Down in the description, there are some discount codes from companies that I trust, along with a link to my website. From there, you can use other links like Brownells or Precision Premier Body Armor, and anything using those links does help out the channel a lot, and I appreciate that. A couple other companies that support me and the things I do here is Howitzer. Really love this clothing brand, and they donate 5% 5% of proceeds to charity, along with TA Targets, fantastic steel target brand. They are the company that I use all my steel targets out at my range. Both companies are a huge support, and I appreciate them. Thank you guys so much. I got a lot of things coming. Doing a lot of testing here with the Saint. That was the rifle that I was using in the video. So that's kind of my primary training rifle at this moment until I get a couple more I'm testing out here. I've got some coming from Smith & Wesson. CZ sending in some stuff that I'm going to be doing some testing. So right now, these are my current setups that I'm using, but once I get those other ones, then I'm going to be using those heavily as well and continuing some other testing. Getting a new flashlight for this gun that I've never used personally, so I'm really excited to test that one out. So got a lot of new things coming down here soon. I hope this video was helpful for you to be able to make a better purchase decision if you want to buy one or if you want to hold off and maybe this isn't exactly what you want. That is the goal here, is to be able to help you make a better purchase decision. So with that being said, thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you all.